Hey guys, welcome back. It's me, Gimpy, again, here with the exciting conclusion of Turn 1 in Heroes Against the Red Star, the counterattack scenario. First off, I am sorry it's been a couple days since I got the last video of this up and haven't had the conclusion up yet. I had a root canal done the other day and that slowed me down just a little bit. So, my apologies. I'm back up and running now, so we'll get this taken care of. For you guys watching some of my other series, planning on having the Fields of Fire video. Instead of that continuing on as a talk through, I'm just going to continue it on as a playthrough and not script it and just play it out. A lot of people are wanting to see how Vietnam runs, and the game's just awesome as it is anyway, so I want you guys to see that. I'll continue that on the next day or so for you guys. And just so you all know, if I'm doing a playthrough like this, they're never scripted. I never script any of mine, whether it's a game like Fields of Fire where it's cards and it's easy to script, or one like this where I could go back and redo the dice or something like that. It's just not worth it because you guys don't get the excitement from a scripted video. You know, if I know what's going to happen, then you don't hear me get all excited about the hard 1 or 6 or whatever I got rolled, or my tanks were able to push through. I want you guys to enjoy it with me. As always, any requests or anything, leave down in the comments. Please subscribe and all that good stuff to help me grow the channel and expand it for you guys so I can have newer and better content and more games up for you guys. Alright, but let's get started back where we were. Quick overview. We are trying to take this town. We are the Americans pushing against the Russians over here. The town is Starklos. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Any Russians out there, or I don't know, where is this supposed to be? Probably West Germany, East Germany, wherever it is. Let me know if I'm saying that right. But the Russians have lost a few tanks. I've lost a tank myself. They have the opportunity still left to gain one more tank. 2 of theirs were not able to come back. They can do that in an impulse this turn. There's probably not a whole lot more going to happen on this turn besides just the final few tanks moving around. I know their infantry isn't going to move. There's no reason for them to. They're not going to cross out in the open to get spotted. They're holding the area they have to hold. There's nothing for them to do, so they'll probably be passing. My infantry's already moved down here in the bottom, but I discovered when I was looking at this, getting it set up, that this tank over in this field actually has line of sight to my bottom unit down here, my bottom APC. So on their turn, he could very easily turn and blast this APC into dust with all my infantry inside of it. So this is not good. I do not want to move this tank out, the one I have over here, the M1. The other M1's already acted in this impulse. These infantry aren't going to do anything. So my option to solve this is pretty much right here. And I've decided to use this guy because, one, I don't want to lose him because he's got some shit hot firepower. It is the, what is this called? M901. It's an armored fighting vehicle. You can see it doesn't have very much armor. It's just to prevent against small arms fire, but it has that little number 2 there, which means it has an anti-tank guided missile. That's what it's firing. And you can see it has one hell of a penetration value. Even with a -4 on it, it could still blast through the front of a Russian tank. The problem is that anti-tank guided missiles are a 2-step process, okay? So I went back and I checked on the rule book because that's kind of specific to this game module. When you initially declare your shot, your opponent gets an opportunity to op-fire back at you, like you've got a token or a moved or fired marker or something on you now, because of the fact that the missile is so slow firing. So it's what is that missile called? Javelin, like you see or a tow missile you've seen fired off of Humvees and things like that, where the missile kind of out and then shoots off away. That's what these things are. But because they're slow and guided by their operator to their target, the game represents that by giving the opponent a chance to op fire back. For me, I don't want to give them a shot to pop off on my A1. I want to preserve my A1s as much as possible because they're what's going to win or lose me this battle. So I'm going to take the chance with this guy because why not? This is about the best chance I'm going to have. I've got a little bit of degrading terrain with the crop field right here in front of me and on me, so they can spot me. I can still blast through them. So what's going to happen is for my first turn, I'm going to fire my tow missile, my anti-tank guided missile at this back tank right here. He's going to op fire by pivoting and firing back at me prior to my missile actually hitting him. And the way it works with the anti-tank guided missiles, ATGMs, is that if he causes a damage check, doesn't even have to kill me, doesn't have to destroy my vehicle, it's game over. My missile doesn't hit, doesn't do whatever. But at least if I lose this thing, which is just going to get up, that's what I'm looking at. All I would be doing is opening this guy up to be seen, and right now he's not spotted, and I don't want them to spot him. I might just leave him there until the following turn when I can put smoke here, push up with my infantry, then slam forward with my tanks to crush everything that's out here. I don't want to risk losing the tank. I'd much rather risk losing this thing that gets op fired at every time it pulls the trigger. So that's what we're going to do. It's probably not the best of ideas, but at least you guys can see the mechanics and see how this operates. Now, the way this works is he's firing ordnance just like, anything else. And he has his to hit, all right, range 70. So the tank's obviously in range. 11 or under. There's some degrading terrain in between that's going to make that -1. I'll go into the ordnance fire table here in a sec. If I do hit, it's going to be a 14 instead of 18 because it is heat ammo against his red armor. But when I roll the dice to see if I hit, if the red dice comes up as a 1, since the front number is 2, all right, that front number there in the square on the right side of the picture, whatever colored dice you roll, if it is under that square number, it means the vehicle is now out of missiles. So this vehicle is not very likely to run out of missiles, while some of the others, like this weapon team up here, if you roll under a 4, it runs out. What is my weapon team? My weapon team is a 4 as well. So they're much more likely to run out of the missiles than this one or some of the other vehicles. Now, do I roll first or does he fire first when it comes to it? Let's take a look at the rule book here real quick just to make sure, because I don't remember if I roll first or if they... Alright. They were not instantaneously deadly. Missiles are slow compared to tank rounds, yada yada. To simulate this, fire in Lock and Load Tactical is a 2-step process. In step 1, the ATGM unit announces its target. In step 2, any enemy units can conduct opportunity fire. Okay, so I announce my target and they op fire. So this tank is going to fire first. If he doesn't destroy my guy, then my missile will roll off and go after him. But my thought is he's probably going to crush me. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 hexes away, 1 hex of degrading terrain. And, ooh, he is right there at his minimum range too. 12 hexes, so he's getting his best chance to kill me. Damn, that is unfortunate. If he was 1 hex farther away, that would make the difference. So let's grab up our ordnance fire table chart here and take a look at any other modifiers that might save our butts. Where's it at? Oh, here it is. Okay. They are open, so they're -1. They're getting the +1 from the degrading terrain, so that cancels that out. So right now he's still at, what is that, 10? Yep. 10 or under to hit. Not firing at that. Not firing there. Weapon team, nope. It's not using assault move. Not adjacent. Not marked with a moved. No helicopter. And the terrain modifier for, what is crops? Hey, what do you know? It's 0. So when we get done with it, we have a +1 and a -1 when we get all our modifiers. Again, +1 for the degrading terrain, -1 for the vehicle being open, and that's where we're at. I think there might be, don't quote me on this, I think there might be a +1 penalty as well for the op fire as far as pivoting is concerned, but it's not listed down on the ordnance fire table, so I'm not going to take the time to dig into the rulebook to find out. We're just going to play it like it's not. If it is, I'll look it up later and tell you guys about that at that point. So the I keep wanting to say German, the Russian tank, the bad guy tank, has to get a 10 or under on his dice, at which point I will pretty much be destroyed. Yeah, he got me. He got a 7, so that takes care of that. I can never remember if it's hull or dabbling. Let's see. This is odd roll, so this is going to be the hull. Yeah, the hull. It's a odd roll that's greater than 2, because a hit from even dice roll that is greater than 2 is the turret. So odd rolls are the hull. The hull on this is a 2, so at least it hit the most powerful armor that it had, but its penetration is 13. Yeah, that's it. I can't even roll high enough to do it because I'm adding 2 to my dice and he's adding 13 to his. There's nothing I can do. I don't even need to roll on that to see if he got it. So unfortunately, my anti-tank guided missile did not get to go off because their op fire was able to destroy my missile launcher there, my armored fighting vehicle. Now, for demonstration purposes only, this is not a continuation of the game or anything like that. We'll get to the bailout check here in a sec. If he were firing his actual missile, say the guy had missed the Russian tank, and we rolled, you see he would have got his 7, so he would have been fine as long as this red dice didn't come up as a 1 or under whatever the anti-tank guided missile number is, depletion number is. It doesn't get hit with an out of ammo marker. So that explains that. Let's get our wrecked marker. Where is that? It's over here. And something I wasn't thinking about doing in the previous video, but I need to do it because I need to make sure I'm playing this right for you guys, is the bailout check. Normally, when I'm just playing for myself, I just worry about the bailout checks for vehicles that have like actual infantry in it. But on this, we're going to roll a d6. On a 1, the crew bails out and they're all shaking and stuff. Let me find where the chart is. Yeah. Bailout roll 1 d6. On a 1, the crew survives, and that's it. So let's see if they survive. Nope, crew dies. So nothing to worry about there. And now we are to our opponent. That takes care of my turn. We're gonna draw a little card here for him. Bring it over here. Nobody in range 1 or 2. Nothing. No third line for primary. They don't have any shaken units. Enemy closest to a unit that just acted fire. A closest to a shaken unit fire. So they do have some of that. Let's see. So they're effectively going to be trying to fire. Here's the thing. I just acted here. Well, recently. He's got a fired marker. and I'm thinking this tank might have line of sight. I know he doesn't here, but I think this Russian tank might have line of sight on my A1 there. Let me kind of spitball this a little bit and see. Yep. All right, I'm gonna call that as line of sight from here to here into the woods. He is in light woods though, so he does get a little bit of modifier there, but he is spotted because of the fire marker on him. But he does have an armored leader. It is his front armor, which is 16. So he should be pretty good. Let's set this off to the side, the leader there. Now this one that's firing is entrenched. All right, and they call it emplaced. They're entrenched. It's a dugout, so the only thing that's sticking out of this guy is his turret. So he can turn and fire and all that good stuff, but he can't be hit in his hull. What the tankers call it, hull down. The Iraqis actually did that a lot when I was overseas. They had big holes in the ground dug all over the desert where they had backed their what was it, T-80s and T-72s and shit like that into, and then they just ended up as burnt tank graves. All right, anyway, let me stop rambling here. He's taking his shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's going to be at his good range, I believe. Yep. Range 12 to hit is 10. 13 is his penetration. Now, my light woods is going to add to his roll, though. Target modifier, light woods. It's +1, so that's going to add a +1 to his roll to try to hit me. All right, let's see what we can get here. Is there any other modifiers? Make sure I'm not forgetting anything. All right, no leadership. It's open, so it's -1, so it's 9. +1 for the woods, so we're back up to 10. Where are we at? Firing at his arc, not assault mode, ops complete. Yeah, okay. So he's still, damn, I was hoping these woods would give me more cover than that, but they're only giving me a +1, which just negates his -1 that he's got. So again, 10 or under, unfortunately, is going to hit for him. So let's see if he hits. Yeah, he definitely hits. He got a 5. So we have to do his penetration against my armor. His penetration is 13. My armor is 16. So it's effectively 16 plus my D6 and 13 plus his D6. So if I roll all right, I should be okay. Let me see if my leadership modifier is going to affect that. And target. Nope. Just against the armor. Now, if he misses, though, I still have to take a morale check, possibly. So let's roll here. Again, 13 plus the red and 16 plus the white. Oh, I gotta do some quick math here. Let's see. I came out to 18, and he came out to no shit 19. Damn it. Gotta be kidding me. He got crushed. He got destroyed. Armor leader gets killed with the vehicle. We'll do bailout. Yeah, you gotta be kidding me. I lost one of my A1s at a long range like that. Yeah. Oh, that. Okay, that hurt. That hurt pretty bad. All right, no bailout. Yeah, I told you guys I didn't think I was gonna win this one, and I think that's why right there. Oh, my tank is gone. That was part of my attack force. That was, oh, that hurt. I almost want to pause the video and go cry. I'm kidding. Marines don't cry. I want to pause the video and go cuss very loudly somewhere off screen. Okay, what am I going to do? All right, here's my thoughts, okay? Both of these tanks have fired. The rest of their tanks have fired. If I fire, the last thing I've really got left that I can do something with here is this A1, okay? And if I fire this A1 at this tank that just fired, okay, or this one over here, okay, you know, destroying either one of those would be a good thing, but then that marks this tank. And they still have another tank left to fire with Ace Gunner, which is a bonus that makes it to where he's either more likely to hit or gets to fire twice. So that could be very bad for me. And they also have this anti-tank guided missile. So I either take and pull him back, or not even pull him back, just leave him there, pass my turn, and hope that they miss their spotting checks, because they'd be effectively making spotting checks against degrading terrain. So they would need to roll 3 or under. I'll tell you what, Marines don't take him back down, so we're going to take a shot and just see what happens. See what my range is. 20 at minimum, so I can hit either one of those SOBs. You know, all the way over to there. I'm firing at both of their front armor, so it's really not going to matter. Let's see, front armor on that one is 12 and 13. Is this one also 12 and 13? Yeah, it is also 12 and 13. So, the turret, I can only hit the 13 on this guy since he's hull down, okay? But this one, I could possibly hit his hull. I do have a chance of hitting his hull, which is 1 point less, so I have a better chance, so we're going to take and do that. We'll fire at him. My to hit roll is an 11 or under. I'm getting a +1 from degrading terrain, -1 for the open tank, and I don't think there's any other modifiers that are going to affect him at this point. Nope. So pretty much as long as I don't take and roll boxcars, because this guy's not in that, as long as I don't roll an actual 12, I'll get the hit, and then it'll be my penetration value of 14 versus his front armor or hull turret front armor. Okay, so let's take and roll on this. See what happens. Oh. I'm going to re-roll that since it fell out, but that scared me there for a second when that 6 was rolling. Okay, so 7, I'm good. Alright, so we did hit on this tank on his front, and it's a 7. How come I cannot remember this to save my butt on which one it is? I need to come up with like a little ditty in my head or something. Even is turret, odd is hull. Okay. So I hit what I wanted, right? Yeah, the hull's the front, hull's the 12. Okay, good deal. That means I've got 14 plus my white, and he's got 12 plus his red. Okay, so as long as I beat him on this one, we'll take that tank down and then go from there. No, son of a bitch. Okay, I got a 15 and he got a 15, which is rare. This actually does something different. There's a special thing that happens on rolls where they're even. Let me pull that up to make sure I say this the right way. Where is it at? Okay. Where is that? If the attacker's roll is equal to the target's roll, the target takes a morale check. If the morale check fails, the crew abandons and takes a morale check. If passes, target is shaken. Okay, yeah. So the tank has to take a morale check against their morale of 6. If they fail this, the crew is going to abandon it, and they'll take a morale check to determine if they're shaken or not, which for me, is great. This means that the tank's abandoned if they fail, which is great, you know? It's the same thing as destroyed because they can't reoccupy the tank. All right, so 6 or under is what they're looking for. 7, right there, baby, 7. That's how that works. All right, so let's grab a little crew marker here for them. They're gonna go there. And where's the abandoned vehicle marker? And I got all my markers lined up here and I can't find the abandoned one. Where is it at? Where's the damn abandoned marker? Okay, I can't find it. So, okay, here it is. It's actually on the back of the shaken marker, so we'll take that fire marker off. We'll put the abandoned marker on. We'll do a morale check for the crew, which I'm not worried about because they're nothing. They fail their morale check, so I'll flip them over to shaken side. So shaken crew, hey, that works. It didn't go quite as anticipated, but I'll take it. It still took care of them. Unfortunately, though, that means that this tank is now spotted and they have 2 things left to shoot with. So I know they're going to be putting some fire down range, and I know they still got to move that ZSU up there down into a better spot. So let's pull our first card here. No 1 or 2. Execute counteractions. Let's grab our counteraction chart. Grab our thing here. We are at, there's no units off the map. There are good order enemy weapon teams with line of sight. Fire at closest player unit in line of sight, or change covered arc and fire. So the weapon team here has line of sight. Is their penetration high enough? Let's see, do a 6. No. See, again, that's the problem. At the angle they are right here, they don't have the penetration to take this guy out. Not with a 16 armor, because the penetration on these things naturally is a 10, but when you remove 4 for it being a heat weapon against their red armor, of which I was talking about in the previous video, I thought I said reactive, you know, explosive armor, which is a real thing, but a buddy of mine was saying that I said radioactive, but regardless, either way. I don't want to take and do that for them because it's a waste. Even if they hit, at most, they're shaking. Well, I guess they could cause a morale check, because as long as they hit, it could, yeah, I'd still have to take a morale check. They could possibly cause the tank to become shaken or something like that. So, yeah, we'll give it to them. We'll see if they can get the shaken result, because they can't penetrate the armor, but they might take and mess them up a little bit. Yeah, because the target will take a morale check minus the difference in the die rolls. If the morale check fails, the target is shaken. So let's take and do that. Let's just do it just to see what happens. Plus, you guys get to see some more anti-tank guided missiles. Unfortunately, I don't have anything in a line of sight to shoot at them. This is it, the Russian anti-tank guided missile team here. You can see their number is a 4, and there's all their little penetration values. Now they shouldn't be at 10, but they should be at 20, which means their to hit's going to be a 6. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, depending on which way I go with it, it is either it's degrading terrain here, which would make it to where they got to roll 5 or under, or if I come in from this angle, it is not degrading terrain. But you know, if I just take and draw a line from the center of my tank to the center of those guys, it does go across this degrading terrain. So we're going to take and call it degrading. So they got to roll a 5 or under to take and get the hit. Again, I do have the opportunity to op fire, but there's nothing left that I can op fire with. So we'll just have to see what they roll. 5. They got the hit. You got to be kidding me. Okay, so they hit. They're hitting against my front armor with a penetration value of a 6, and my armor value is 16. So again, there's nothing they can roll. They can't roll an 11 on a 6-sided dice. So I'm not even going to bother to roll on that. But that is going to cause me to have to take a morale check. The morale on this tank is a 7. So I need to roll a 7 or under to take and be okay. So they might still do all right here. Oh, 8. Look at this, 8. I'm gonna have to try to get this shit rallied on the next turn. Okay. That takes care of the weapon team. And I'll tell you what, for simplicity's sake, I know I'm not moving anything else. I'm holding this group of infantry in the rear for reserves. I'm not pulling this tank out in the open because I want to have one gun left. And right now, nothing they have has a line of sight on it. So, all right. I'm probably just going to take and pass out the rest of my turns. They have 2 units left to really act. I'm going to let them act out their turns real quick because we know what's going to happen. 1, I'm just going to go ahead and give him the movement here on this vehicle because it puts him in a more advantageous position where he has some cover and concealment in the light woods. Plus, he's pointing down this direction for when my armored group comes in. I'm not even going to bother drawing a card for that. And also, this tank, I know when I draw the card and go through the charts, is going to be taking his shot down at this tank as well. So that's going to be the last part of this turn. Now, don't get me wrong, still drawing the cards and all that, but I'm just not going to waste the time going through the chart for this. Okay, unfortunately for me, this guy is their better unit. All right, it's another one of the T80 BVs, but it has a leader with ace gunner on it, okay? So this guy's got all sorts of cool stuff on him. He's got his leadership modifier. Now, ace gunner, where's my little chart for that? All right, I just had it. Oh, here it is. Ace gunner, right here. This leader, before firing, roll 1d6. If the result is odd, subtract 2 from any to hit roll. If the result is even, ordnance firing units can fire twice in the same impulse at the same target or 2 separate targets. So this guy is bad juju. Honestly, I probably should have tried to take him out earlier if I had thought about it, but it's neither here nor there. You don't win them all. I need to roll a dice. If I just looked at the damn thing. If it is odd, he gets to subtract 2. If it's even, then he gets to fire twice. So let's see what he's doing. It's even. Okay, that's not good. I'd rather have been odd. I'd rather just guarantee him 1 hit versus letting him fire twice. So he gets to fire twice at my tank. There's degrading terrain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. He's at range 12, which is, of course, his minimum range. So he is just doing all sorts of good right now. All right. Honestly, with the fact that... Oh, wait, no. He's getting to fire twice, not the subtracting 2. So let's get that. He's got his leadership modifier and vehicles open. So he's already at -2 there. But there is +1 for the degrading terrain, and I don't believe anything else is going to affect it. Nope. Okay, so, ooh, I got a feeling this ain't gonna be good for me. He basically can hit on anything but boxcars, anything but a natural 12 to miss. So let's take and roll it and hope for miracles here, guys. But he is rolling against my front armor, which even shaken is still a 12. So let's see how we do this. Or it's still a 16, excuse me. I got 12 on the brain. Nope, he hit. Okay. Penetration value is a 13, if I remember right. Yep. 13 and 13 against my 16. 16 plus the white, 13 plus the green. Let's see what happens. And re-roll that. 6, so I won that one. Nothing to worry about there. I'm knocking all my stuff around. He is getting his second shot though. Real quick. Same thing. To hit roll of anything but boxcars. Yeah, close. So he got the hit. Same thing again. A 16 plus the white and a 13 plus the red. So let's see what we get. Oh, wait, no, I'm still good. That comes out to 21 for me and 19 for him. So I am good. I'm not going to bother to roll for the misses on this as the crew's already shaking as it is anyway. So moot point. I'll mark him with his fired marker. And just to complete things out, we're going to take and roll off on this one last guy up here just to see if they get one more tank. Really hoping to God they don't right now, because I am down to one tank. No, 2 tanks. I got 1 tank and 1 shaken tank. Damn, I keep dropping that. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Guys, I'm not giving you a win this turn, but I will go down firing. They just got up another T-72A, which thankfully doesn't have great armor, but it still has pretty good penetration, so that's not good for me. I gotta start picking off some of these tanks because they still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got 5 tanks left, and I've got 1.5. And some law rockets. If they take out my last 2 M1s, it's really game over at that point. There's nothing I could do. My hope is the following turn to drop some smoke here and make a rush. I'm gonna try to get some shots off here. Hopefully these tanks, this one will rally and I can take out this tank and hopefully their leader tank up there, which I should have done. Because if I can get that down, this crew is the only thing there for that abandoned tank. That can give me a little bit of cover, degrading terrain as well. Push up and around, hopefully get behind them. Hit here with an artillery strike because I have a firepower 8 artillery strike available. Although they have a, I think it's a firepower 6, something like that. But next turn we will see the baby. Hopefully this guy will make a difference for us. I think it's funny how the A-10 has multiple machine guns listed down when the actual A-10 only has 1 actual cannon. It's that minigun, but it does make sense for it to be able to fire a whole bunch of times in the game to simulate that. The neat thing is, heard an A-10 pilot talking about that if he fired the minigun for too long, that the plane would actually stop in midair from the force of the firepower holding it back. But interesting stuff, interesting stuff. All right, so we're gonna pause it here. I'll get the second turn set up for you guys as soon as I can, get it up filmed for you. Like I said, keep an eyeball out for my next Fields of Fire video, and hopefully for those of you who have requested it, I will have rifles and Ardans up for you guys soon as well. Anyway, you guys take care. I'll see you in the next video.